And hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to the Geek Battle Show here on the Extreme Improv Extremes YouTube channel, as well as on the Geek Battle YouTube channel. Head over to www.youtube.com/@geekbattle. Smash that subscribe button. And today we're going to be reacting to a bunch of things. We're going to be giving theories on a bunch of things. We'll probably play a couple of fun improv-y, game showy type of games, all on the theme of things that are geeky. And with that, let's meet the panel for tonight. Marty, say hello to the people, and if you have a random geek fact, by all means, give us one.
Oh man, I always forget about that. This is Marty in Atlanta, Georgia, and yeah, I can't even come up with a random something off the top.
Oh, I've got to give you a minus point there. -1 point, Marty. So sorry about that. Handing over to Tim. What do you have for us?
Hi, my name's Tim. I'm from Providence, Rhode Island, and I'm coming at you with a geek fact of, I don't know, the first time that Sith electricity has ever been used as an ion cannon was in episode 9, when Emperor Palpatine is like throwing the electricity up there and shocking everyone, but you see it as the first use as like a tactical advantage during a fleet battle, and it makes me wonder if the Sith could have used it in the other episodes as a way to influence the outcome of that battle.
Wow, I don't know. I'm going to give a point there just because it was something. Right, so with that, I'm not going to give a fact. I don't need to.
It was something.
It definitely was. That sure is something. That's what I always say. Now, first of all, let's begin. Have you guys seen anything in the last few days? We had the Oscars. Did either of you catch the Oscars, or at least catch the results to know what won stuff, what didn't win stuff? Are you happy with things? Are you not happy with things?
From what I saw, I think there were a lot of good choices, but I didn't really pay attention too much to it. I did read a couple of columnists who discussed picking certain movies over others. I think Brendan Fraser's The Whale was a particular focus for some people who are discussing about American culture and how being plus-sized is... Sorry, that's my phone.
Oh, okay, I was just wondering. It's like suddenly, like we're going to go into like a song. But yeah, no, go on.
No, that's my dancing text. It's reminding me to do tap dancing every time I get a text. So, yeah, just very fascinating part on that. What do you think, Marty?
This year's been weird because, it's been this way the last few years. I haven't really seen very many of the films. And the one that I really was interested in seeing that won everything, Everything Everywhere All at Once, it's been difficult to find somewhere to watch it. We finally got to the point where my wife and I had the time to go to the theater and see it, and then it disappeared. And then all the buzz happened, and then it reappeared, and then our schedules just don't allow for us to go to the movies that
Marty,
often.
I don't understand why you found it hard to find, because literally it is everything everywhere all at once.
I know, but not to me.
Thank you for making that joke, Dave, because I'm glad someone did. I was gonna
had to be done, Tim.
So I'd like to see that one. I think that's the only movie that was nominated that I didn't see that I want to see.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, you've seen literally all of the films. That's one of the only films that I saw, and luckily it won everything. So that means I've seen most of the things that won everything.
Yeah, well, there's a bunch of stuff on there that I just didn't really have any interest in.
Okay, I had the opportunity, yesterday, I saw that in the UK we could now watch Elvis. I just elected not to do it. I have seen Avatar: Way of the Water. I'll be honest, I've never heard of All Quiet on the Western Front or the Banshees of Inisherin.
Oh, I have seen the Banshees of Inisherin. Is that how you pronounce it?
Any
How
good?
is it?
Huh?
Any good?
I liked it. It's an odd, dark dramedy comedy.
Yeah.
But it's quite good. I mean, I could see how it wouldn't be for everyone, but I quite enjoyed it.
Okay. Also, I just realised that where it says Everything Everywhere All at Once winner, it's then got an advert. So I then missed that there's many more films that were nominated. We won't go over everything in every category, but also The Fabelmans, Tar, Top Gun Maverick I have seen, Triangle of Sadness, and Women Talking. Other than Top Gun there, I haven't seen any of those ones I just mentioned either.
Me either.
No. Well, I'm pleased Everything Everywhere All at Once won for a bunch of reasons. I like the cast generally. I'm happy with, like, obviously they didn't have a nominee in the, at least I don't think they had a nominee in the Best Actor category, but where they had Best Supporting Actress, Best Actress, and Best Supporting Actor, I think they took a clean sweep of it. And I'm happy for all three of them to win those awards. I'm also happy. Look, how often? Maybe there's been a bunch, and I can't think of them. How often does like a science fiction film win Best Picture?
Yeah, normally, anything genre doesn't get nominated even.
Yeah, so science fiction, multiverse, weird stuff in there. You know, I think it's great that like that film, which was one that it's like usually it'll be like a film. It'll be like, oh, this won the Best Picture. I need to go and check it out because like I've heard of it. Oh, it's a big epic. It's Gladiator. It's The English Patient or something like this. It's Titanic. It's something historical or sadness or something like that. But this one, no, it's like multiversal bad guys and stuff like that.
Have you seen it?
What, Everything Everywhere All at Once? I have.
Yeah. So, I mean, I haven't. Tim, have you seen it?
Yeah. I think it is multiversal, but it does pick up on a lot of personal themes like motherhood, you know, the parent-child dynamic, living up to expectations in today's modern society. So, you know, there are a lot of things that it touches upon, but it does it in a really funny and cool way. I've enjoyed it for that. I'm actually going to be playing the movie on my forehead, projecting it onto my forehead in a couple of weeks, so you can come visit if you want.
Wait, what?
Okay.
Yes, I have enough space here to project a small movie on my forehead, so...
Well, do you know what? Like, I shaved my head, so I could like do the whole thing. Like, I could just have it in 4K. It's amazing.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
I'll get there soon.
For those of you who have seen it, and you know, I don't think this would lead to spoilers, but how do you feel about the whole Jamie Lee Curtis versus Angela Bassett argument?
Can you?
You don't know about this?
A little bit. That Angela Bassett didn't like cheer for.
Well,
Jamie
no,
Lee?
people are just up in arms that Jamie Lee won and Angela Bassett didn't.
What was
And
Angela Bassett up for?
Not having seen the movie, I can't comment.
Okay, hang on. Let's look at actress and supporting
Is this
role.
the Woman King?
Oh, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. I didn't know who Angela Bassett was off the top of my head. Do you know, that's interesting. It is interesting. I will be honest. Having seen both, it's a while since I saw Everything Everywhere All at Once, but it's not long since I saw Black Panther. I kind of think that, yeah, maybe Angela Bassett should have won. Like, that role sticks out more to me instantly.
Well, a lot of people are commenting that they gave it to Jamie Lee because she's more for her body of work than...
Yeah, it's tricky, isn't it?
Which they do. They do that a lot.
Yeah. Well, even even Brendan Fraser, right? I haven't seen The Whale. I'm happy for Brendan Fraser because I like Brendan Fraser. I could. My assumption is, and I don't know this, but going by every film I've ever seen Brendan Fraser in, I don't think it's going to be great. Truthfully, I like him. If Capelthave is watching, which he is, he's in the comments but not here. I know Capelthave, who is a big Brendan Fraser fan, his head will explode. I don't think I've seen a single Brendan Fraser performance where I think he's a good actor in terms of he's fun to watch. I like him. He has this quirky kind of thing, but unless he's suddenly radically different in the last few years for The Whale, I can't imagine him ever giving a performance which is best actor worthy. But I'm happy for him as a person.
Yeah, I can buy that.
Well, it's just like, we've definitely said this before. The first few times I saw Brendan Fraser, now it was called like Encino Man in the States, but I saw it was called California Man in the UK, and he was like an unfrozen caveman. Then he played George of the Jungle, and he was basically Tarzan. Then there was the film Blast from the Past, and he was someone that was like, oh boy, oh gee, Mrs., I'm so happy to be here, because he was frozen, not frozen in time, but he only knew life from the 1950s, and he suddenly was through to the 90s. And every character he had was sort of like an oddball, out there, Capelthave says my head exploded, but like an oddball who's sort of like in the wrong time period sort of thing. And suddenly he's, and I like him. I really liked Brendan Fraser. And then the Mummy films, right? He wasn't, he was doing his best Indiana Jones thing, but he didn't have the gravitas of Harrison Ford. He was still the goofy guy. And so I'm very happy for Brendan Fraser, but I can't imagine, but I say this without having seen The Whale, I can't imagine that he's suddenly a radically different performer.
Well, he's done a couple of dramas, one of which I did see. It was a long time ago. I can't remember.
Was it Crash?
No, he did Gods and Monsters.
No, I don't know that.
With Ian McKellen. He also made a film where he played a Jewish student. I can't remember the name of the movie right now. I don't believe I ever saw that film, but yeah, I agree. I kind of agree with your assessment.
But so on that sense, because I know that Brendan Fraser, wait, Capelthave says, okay, now I'm pissed for shitting on the Mummy. Who shit on the Mummy? Right. No one.
Well, he's made out of. Don't worry about it, Cap. He's made out of toilet paper. He can handle it.
Yeah, exactly. He's the Mummy. It's like, it's good, right? But like, so here's the thing. So there was the whole thing. Oh, Brendan Fraser's getting a second chance, and then people rallied behind him, and he's won this award. In that similar sense, Jamie Lee Curtis. Now, Halloween, Trading Places, True Lies. There's like tons of, you know, amazing Jamie Lee Curtis films over the years. I perhaps I need to think of her performance in Everything Everywhere All at Once More. I can't imagine that that's like a best supporting actress role to like win.
I mean, I didn't see Angela Bassett in The Wakanda Forever, so I can't attest to how she was. But
like, okay, so Tim, let me just quickly add in this, because I think it's even on the trailer. Like what she has to play in that film, and look, yeah, it's always, like I say, it's either like period stuff, like historical stuff, or it's like sadness, and she has a sadness role because she's playing that she's now the Queen of Wakanda, because, you know, this is no real spoiler because Chadwick Boseman died. She's like, you know, she says on the trailer, I'm like the ruler of the most powerful nation in the world, and my husband is dead, and my son is dead, and I have like nothing left, and stuff like this, and it's a great performance, you know. Just
to see this then.
Kind of based on that, like, she has quite a lot, and I won't give more spoilers because I've done it in the past around Wakanda Forever for Dave Meakin, but so I won't say more. But yeah, I can absolutely see why she could have won. I don't know. I don't think I've seen Stephanie Sue. I assume that pronunciation is. So they had 2 nominations for Everything Everywhere All at Once for actress in a supporting role. How gutting is that? If you're the one that didn't win. But anyway, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I will say that Jamie Lee Curtis's character was like, at least when I've spent time working in an office or something like that, it just seems to be, if I were to explore the the emotions that Jamie Lee Curtis's character has and how it would sort of evolve into this sort of multiversal character, it seems pretty interesting, you know. And Jamie Lee Curtis explained it very interestingly, is like when she took on the character's role, it was her witnessing like many women later on in their life who were struggling with a lot of different things. So seeing how, and also finding validation only in their job. So that being like a point of, they have purpose, they have meaning, but it's only through this bureaucratic process in a way. And there's, I can't compare that at anything to a actor who's taking on the loss of their husband and their son and also has to rule a fucking nation. Like that's entirely different. But, the experiences still are lived, and yeah, I have to watch Wakanda Forever because of that, because I'd like to understand Angela Bassett's character and how she plays it.
Yeah, absolutely. The interesting thing, even the fact that she was nominated and she deserves a nomination, whereas I don't think, and I can't remember the actress' name who plays Shuri, I don't think she was nominated for Best Actress.
Oh, Letitia Wright.
Well, or am I wrong? Was she? Like, I don't think any, like, so actor in a leader role, we've got Brendan Fraser the Whale, After Sun, Bill Nighy in Living, Austin Butler in Elvis, blah blah blah, Kate Blanchett in Tar, Anna de Armas in Blonde. No, so like the only like genre film that had like the nomination was Michelle Yeoh for Everything Everywhere All at Once. So for actor or actress anyway. Okay, so any like Capelthave in the comments here says Rick O'Connell beats Indiana Jones. Charles comments that movie, being The Mummy, helped him unwind. I see what you did there. Very good. But yeah, was there anything else from the Oscars that stood out to anyone? Like, I know Capelthave said that Puss in Boots should have won, and I think Pinocchio did, and I haven't seen either of those.
As an older person, I'm starting to, and I mean, this started a few years ago, but I'm just starting to realize, what? There's really no point to these award shows. Everybody, I mean, there are so many people that probably deserve an award for, something that they did in a film or a television show or something. And it's all just, a matter of opinion. I don't know. I just don't see the need for it anymore. And I think the ratings will back me up on that. I think the ratings go down and down and down every year.
Yeah. Well, I think they were up this year compared to last year.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, I think so. And I think it was like a big thing because obviously they had to play into the jokes about the slap around heard around the world.
People tuned in to see somebody get slapped.
Well, exactly. Also, it was just, who was the host this year? I forget his name.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel, that's it. Right. So the funny thing was, there's the clip that's gone viral where they with Andrew Garfield, if you've seen it. Yeah. So the idea is so if anyone goes to slap anyone, we've got the Mandalorian here. We've got, I forget the first one he says. We've got like Creed here or whoever it was. And we've got Michelle Yeoh here, and for some reason she's just named as the actress. And then and then we've got Spider-Man here. It's like, so like Spider-Man and the Mandalorian, these are characters. But then Michelle Yeoh, did he just forget her character name or assume that people wouldn't know it?
Well, I think she was referencing her past as a martial arts star.
Okay, that's fair play. And then you had Andrew. Yeah. Now, was this planned? Did they know they were going to be on screen? Because Andrew Garfield just did the goofiest facial expression ever.
I noticed it. There's a meme right now. I think a couple of IG accounts put up like, it's just, when you're asked if you want sausage, but it's lunchtime already.
Right. Yeah. Okay, now guys, I do have something else quite fun for you. I don't know if you've seen this. Have you seen something quite fun that's come up in like the last day or so with Lawrence Fishburne?
Yes.
No, I have not.
You have. Okay, so I'm going to play the clip. Now, I'm going to risk that this will get the show taken off the air and demonetized, even though it's not monetized and all these other things. But before I share it, so we've got the clip here. I'm going to put it onto screen share. Here is Lawrence Fishburne being interviewed, obviously in regards to John Wick Chapter 4. Now, this is just an interview, and I'm sure we'll be able to share it okay. Like, it's not going to flag anything in terms of the sound because it's just an interview. But maybe I'll learn I'm wrong. But I have a plan so that the video itself doesn't trigger a copyright thing. I have come up with a force field. So if you're just listening to the audio version of this, you won't see it. But check this out, guys. Hopefully you'll see this. And I go, boom. And I put this force field over the image, which in my theory will mean that it doesn't trigger that it's recognized the image. There is like a cage protecting us from this getting flagged for like borrowing someone's video, even though we're only giving commentary on it. So anyway, Lawrence Fishburne is about to be asked about what franchises he might like to be in. And there's an interesting result. We'll play it in case anyone in the audience haven't seen it. So let's have a go. Hopefully the sound will come up. And
what do you still geek out about and still hope to see one day?
I'm an MCU guy, man. I love the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and as much as I would love to be in it, I'm happy being a fan and waiting for whatever's coming.
Yeah, man.
Like I just heard, I was in Atlanta. I heard they're getting ready to do another Captain America.
Yeah, Anthony Mackie.
Yes, bring it.
okay, so the fun thing with that is people are interpreting this because he was in Ant-Man 2. People are interpreting this that he forgot he was already in the MCU because he says that he's happy just to be a fan. Now that might mean that, well, I was in it and I'm happy just to be a fan now. But he's like, Captain America, the 4. It's like, I don't remember much about who his character was, in terms of how he could come into Captain America. But is it that he's just like, I hope they bring my character back from Ant-Man 2? Or is it that he has forgotten that he was in the MCU? How do you guys interpret this?
I don't know. I mean, he plays Bill Foster, a protege of Dr. Hank Pym.
Yeah.
Who in the comics becomes a superhero himself. And, even though he's an older gentleman, they could very easily do what they did with Ant-Man. They could have Bill Foster helping a younger man, use the Pym particles to become. I mean, he was Goliath. They called him Black Goliath, but that was, I don't know. They called every African American character was black something.
Okay.
But maybe he forgot.
Well, that's what the internet seems to be going on that angle, that he forgot he was in the MCU. Now, obviously, I don't know if you guys have seen this before. There was Pepper Potts. I forget the actress's name. Help me out here.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh, Gwyneth Paltrow. Where they speak to her. There's a couple of times where she doesn't know that she was in a Spider-Man film and stuff like this, because she filmed it. It was like a short role, and they were like, "You were in that film." She's like, "No, I wasn't," and she was. It's brilliant. So are there just so many of these MCU things where people just like Lawrence Fishburne can actually forget that he was in the MCU? Tim, you were going to say?
I think it was a memory thing. Maybe he was just working press tour. The MCU thing was probably his role. Maybe wasn't too many weeks of film and work compared to some of his jobs. So maybe he just forgot.
Oh yeah, possibly.
Or they could have filmed it 4 years ago.
Well, yeah. When did that come out? That came out in 2019, I believe.
Yeah, so never mind.
I mean, he wasn't in the movie very much. They probably were able to film his parts, certainly within a week.
Maybe
He
he's
might
from a
not
different
he
universe.
might not have been there very long.
Okay, so do you think he also forgets that he was Perry White in the DCU as well?
I think he wants to.
Oh man. Right, well actually that will segue me nicely into the next surprise I've got for you guys. Because look guys, it's happening. We're gonna play this one as well. But once again we're gonna bring up the force field to protect us here. And look, here we go. So this was on Zack Snyder's Twitter account earlier. I don't know if you hear a voice. I won't play music just because it is music with it. Oops, it playing. So, incoming transmission, it says, for anyone not able to view this. And then it goes on to say, from Lord Darkseid, April 28th to 30th, save the date. You know, and then, and that's it. It's literally a 15-second clip. Now, I don't know what it could possibly be April 28th to 30th. Now, that isn't a single announcement, but what could this be? Any ideas?
James Gunn and Peter Safran are giving Snyder another chance, maybe?
But what is it, like 28th to the 30th? Has he got like 3 days to shoot this thing?
Maybe it's a DCEU convention or something.
It could be. It's interesting though that it's like incoming transmission from Lord Darkseid. Well, like whatever it is, he's definitely lent as hard as he can into getting people worked up about it, thinking it's going to be Justice League something or other.
It's about. I mean, let's go with a capital save comment and say that the animated universe is a heck of a lot better.
Tim.
They're leaning on Darkseid. There was a smart idea. Let's see how we can do it in the live action version of it, I guess.
Yeah, like I don't think this is going to be like whatever this is. It could make people start campaigning about the Snyderverse even more, and it will. I'm sure it's going to be trending like right now. In fact, Marty, do you have any thoughts on this?
No, because I don't care. I want the Snyderverse to go away. I'm so sick of hearing about it.
I want to continue the story until at least it ends. Let's see what. Yeah, I'd like to see it have a conclusion instead of
I think every story should be able to get like a conclusion.
It'd be nice to have actual catharsis with a creative enterprise instead of let's just make give it a little bit less money but still give it a story.
But you won't be able to do that because Cavill's not coming back.
It's true.
Gal Gadot apparently is not coming back.
Mm-hmm.
So how are they going to wrap it up?
And to be fair, when you put forth evidence like that, they can't. There's no wrap it up.
But we thought it was done before. They're going, Marty.
No, the other day, this was just, it was a rumor, but so just take it with that as that. But I heard that there was a test screening of Aquaman 2, and they said that it was so bad that they're now doing reshoots.
Wow.
So, I don't know.
See,
Flash is going to have to be so good.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be freaking amazing.
I was going to say, is Shazam actually, is it about to be out? Is it out now?
Yeah, it's actually getting good reviews.
Has anyone seen it?
Oh, good.
No, I haven't seen it.
See, I don't, here's the thing, I don't even intend to, because I didn't like the first Shazam film.
I liked the first one.
It was terrible.
That's your opinion.
I feel like it's campy, but it was still good,
But,
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, even the actor that plays Shazam, I don't think I've seen him in anything where I like him.
Did you ever watch that show, Chuck?
Yeah, he's just like a kind of like to tie things up here. He's kind of like a worse version of Brendan Fraser, where everything's a bit goofy, but I don't like him.
I think that's why I didn't remember too much from the movie. He's like very campy and tchotchke.
Yeah.
Like, Brendan Fraser is a good role in certain ways, but there's nothing that's been like. I remember him for his character basically. Like Encino Man is a goofy, and he's got this lovable affect, but definitely not like hunk of burning love in the Mummy.
Well, if you read the Shazam comics, it's a goofy character.
Yeah, do you know what? Like, I'm personally like done with this justification that because something's like this in the comics, that it has to be terrible.
Well, what do
on
you
screen.
want? You want them to darken it up?
No, just don't make it then. If it's like it's like it was the whole thing. Like we say this every week, but with She-Hulk, it's like but she breaks the fourth wall in the comic, and it's like now because they did that in the comic, it's okay that Tony Stark didn't die saving the world. He actually just died because of the writer's room. It's not okay. Right. Anyway. Capelthev says that, yes, Tim, animation rules. And also says DC might actually sell it to Netflix. I don't believe that at all. Brendan Fraser as the new Indy, says Charles. I think Brendan Fraser was already the new Indy, like in 2002, basically.
That's too bad.
No, it's just somebody made a fake poster, but I'm like, let Ki-Hai Kwan, or however you pronounce his name, let him be Short Round.
Yeah. Yeah.
But unfortunately, Disney owns the rights, and I feel like they might screw it up like they did Willow.
Didn't see Willow.
I didn't.
Never saw it.
Which, by the way, the news just broke right before the show that Willow season 1 was it. They canceled the possibility of season 2.
It doesn't surprise me.
I mean, season 1 was terrible.
Yeah, it was. Which is the unfortunate thing about it.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been.
Disney, they've got like this weird thing going on at the moment where like all of the MCU shows have got the exact same rhythm of don't give you the villain until the final episode. Kill off or replace all of the characters. And I know they're trying to get a next generation, but it's like I don't know, because even in the sense that they were vague about what happens to Captain America in the fact that he was old. There was just like, it was assumingly Captain America died, and it's like, oh well, he just died off screen and stuff like this. It's just like, don't do things that's going to rub the audience the wrong way. And as I've said week after week, in episode 2 of Willow, like you didn't see Willow until like the last moments of the end of the first episode of the new Willow. Just like you didn't see Luke Skywalker until the final shot of episode 7. To then have in episode 2, like the trainee character literally throw up on Willow. Like not figuratively, not metaphorically, literally throw up on him. I was just like, wow, they just don't respect any of the characters. But who's to say? I can't see this update on Willow on these couple of sites I've got open here, but I do have another treat for you. Now, apparently, do either of you watch the show Superman and Lois?
No.
Okay, well, this is your new Lex Luthor in that show, so who knows where he'll be in the multiverse of things. But it's the guy, you may recognise him from The Walking Dead. Apparently, he's the new Lex Luthor.
Interesting.
Yeah.
He is Lex Luthor?
That is Lex Luthor in Superman and Lois.
Oh, with a beard.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah. Like a retired Stone Cold Steve Austin there.
I see it, absolutely.
I'm Lex Luthor, and I'm mad because I can grow hair on my face, but not on my head.
And I had another beer.
Redneck.
I made $1 million.
What? Okay, so, is there... Okay, hang on. Capelthave gives us here in the comments. Shazam was an okay film, but Zack was way too goofy than the actual kid. Also, they didn't have the budget to make a cool Shazam film. He's equal to Superman, but the movie didn't go with that. Look, Superman is Superman. They said that Black Adam is like lined up to fight Superman, and did you see someone interviewed Dwayne Johnson about that this week, and you could see that Dwayne wasn't that happy. He said that the reviewers took a couple of hits at us, the audience reviews were over 90%, but the way he viewed it is that even if he put it in like American football terms, I guess, where even if you've got a coach that wins the Super Bowl and you've got the star quarterback, when you get in a new owner, they just bring in their guys instead. And I'd go with that. That's what I think is the situation with
it's
James
funny.
Gunn.
Now that putting this in the context of the show, The Rock for me is like Brendan Fraser.
Just because he was in The Mummy Returns?
No. It's the fact that he's never made a film of any substance.
The Rock has never made a film of any substance?
No, nothing. He's never made an amazing movie. Ever.
Whoa, hang on. My mind is blowing at that. But I like most of his films. What one's that, Tim?
That?
San Andreas was pretty good.
Oh, God.
Do you not agree, Martin?
I'm talking about, okay, let's compare.
Getting.
Let's compare him with, like say, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold has Terminator, Terminator 2, and Predator. You might add more to that, but there's 3 films that will stand the test of time.
Twins
Name
Kindergarten
a Rock movie that will stand the test of time.
Okay, well let's check out his IMDb. Let's see what we've got here.
Gotta be one of the Fast and Furious.
No, it will not.
Hey, you know what? Vin Diesel should just give him a Riddick movie just so we can have a decent science fiction franchise.
Okay,
they're making another Riddick movie.
Let's just check this. So we've got the Scorpion King, we've got the Mummy Returns, Be Cool, Doom, Game Plan, Get Smart, but then he suddenly started Fast 5, Journey 2, G.I. Joe Retaliation. He revived all of these franchises. Hercules, San Andreas. Moana. There you go, Marty. Moana.
Yeah, Moana.
You're welcome.
That's going to do it.
It's just his voice.
And it's animated. Come on, Cap, back us up here. The Fate of the Furious.
I stand by my statement.
Okay, Baywatch, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, Rampage. Do you know what? I understand your point. Arnie.
I like Jumanji.
I like the first Rock Jumanji.
I liked Rampage.
I think Jumanji might stand the test of time because they did a good job of addressing a lot of various issues, still making it funny and pertinent and relevant, and also just able to sit through and watch it the whole thing in one sitting.
God, that movie, I had to sit through it. I had to put up with The Rock, Jack Black, and Kevin Hart. Oh, God.
Yeah, but Karen Gillan was in it.
Well, that was the only saving grace.
Yeah, I feel like The Rock and Jack Black could have been saving graces too.
Yeah.
After seeing Kevin Hart in sports betting advertisements in Massachusetts, I'm just I don't know.
Charles also says Kindergarten Cop has another Arnie film. Arnie. There's so many good Arnie films. If I had to choose the film library of one actor that I could only ever watch again, I would certainly consider Arnold Schwarzenegger films.
Yeah, they're fun, but I wouldn't say Kindergarten Cop is going to stand the test of time like Terminator or Predator.
Of course it is, right? There is no bathroom.
It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
It's not a.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Who is your daddy and what?
I know it's not me because I do a terrible Arnold.
Wow. No, I think that's great. I do get it though. The Rock has the Fast and Furious films, but he didn't start it off. He's just joined halfway through. And then he fell out with Vin Diesel, so he's kind of out the picture there.
I think he has the potential.
I think he needs to do something serious. like he basically is picked up the baton from Arnold Schwarzenegger in 1994, and he's kind of doing those action with comedy, and people are going to like him and stuff like that. But he doesn't have, like, the Terminator. You know, it was one of only a couple of times that Arnie played the villain, but it was scary. He was scary, and The Rock doesn't have that. And Terminator 2, even though Arnie became a lot lighter in it, it was still a serious film. And The Rock just doesn't have a film like that in his library.
No.
What about Gridiron Gang? Doesn't he play a sports coach or something?
Gridiron Gang. I can't remember that.
I thought I saw one movie that was like, oh, he plays a sports coach. I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt, Marty. I don't actually believe it. Huh?
That's a stretch.
I'm giving the benefit of the doubt. I'm just trying.
Also, hang on. What's quite funny here is earlier I was like, Shazam's a terrible movie, and Marty, you were like, well, that's your opinion. And now, like, whenever Tim says, oh yeah, there's a good Rock film, you're like, bah!
Well, that's your opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm clearly the oldest and wisest of this group.
Absolutely. You know.
Sure.
Wow, it makes a good
That's your
point there. But
opinion.
this also goes back to my point that, like, I believe, other than Thor, Chris Hemsworth is a terrible actor. I have not enjoyed a single Chris Hemsworth film other than Thor.
What about Extraction?
I don't think I saw that. I might have seen that. Was it on Netflix?
I think so.
Yeah,
Oh,
Netflix
what
have never
about-
made a good film.
What about, he wasn't in it much, but, oh shoot, what's the name of that? About the hotel where there's all the weird cult activity going on.
Do you know what? That's a good point. I only saw that on a flight back from Seattle, actually, and I was half asleep, so I don't know.
Yeah, I like that film. But to be honest with you, now that you say that, I don't think I've ever seen another film with him in it other than Thor.
Well, like, people will say, like, Cabin in the Woods, but I don't actually remember liking that. There was the Snow White and the Huntsman one.
Oh, well, he wasn't really Chris Hemsworth yet.
No, there was Star Trek where he was, like, he was Kirk's dad, but he was in
Yeah.
it for 5 minutes.
He was in a movie with, I wish I could think of the name, but he was in a movie with Timothy Oliphant and Mila Jovovich and Steve Zahn, and it's actually it's really a good movie.
I don't know that film.
What's it called? A Perfect Getaway or something like that? Or
Perfect Getaway. No,
it's
I can't
a
see
good
that.
movie.
Yeah. No, it's a weird thing, though. Like, it's just... Like, he's likable. But I just don't think there's, like, good Chris Hemsworth films other than... Because even, like, people raved when there was the Ghostbusters reboot that, oh, Chris Hemsworth's really funny in it. And when I watched it, I was like, there's nothing in this film that's funny. Chris Hemsworth is not funny in it. Like, it's just like... And the funny thing is, being Extreme Improv, is that they improvised most of the film. And he kind of did that because he'd done... Or, like, he learned how to do improv, and then that's what they brought into Thor Ragnarok as well. And that one worked out. But then, as we often say, Thor Love and Thunder sort of fell a bit flat. So, you know...
Isn't he making a movie where he plays Hulk Hogan?
I think I've heard that for years. I don't know if that's true.
The movie I was talking about is called A Perfect Getaway.
I don't know it.
It's good. You should watch it.
Yeah,
It's got
okay. Wow, that was like his second film ever.
It's got a good twist in it.
Is that because of Hemsworth, or is he part of the twist, or is it someone else?
Sort of, yeah.
Is the
In a
twist
way.
that he's actually good? Okay, guys, have you seen anything else this week to react to, or stuff like
Yes. The last episode of the last episode.
that? Oh, okay. Like, I will ask, do not give me spoilers of it, because we're at the point where it is the last episode, and hopefully, like, by this time next week, I can say that I've seen it all.
Okay.
Halfway
Well,
through the season, like, I changed, like, my provider with who you could watch stuff with, and the one I went with literally doesn't have the channel that you can watch The Last of Us on. And I was like, I don't want to have to pay for the old one for an extra 2 months. So I was like, I'm going to wait for it to finish, and then I'll just do 1 month and catch up on it. But was it good?
Well, I just like that they finally realized that they can ingest the mushrooms and trip balls like crazy.
Tim, was it good though?
Yeah, I liked it. I love the story, the freedom with the storytelling that this season had. And a friend of mine who plays the video games was really happy with the way the season has ended up. He did have comments about one particular episode, but it wasn't necessarily like a bad thing. I just like it kind of veered off of the video games. So I had fun watching it. And I was really surprised when the Star Destroyer showed up and blasted the entire glassed the entire Pacific Northwest.
See, I'd say that was a spoiler, but I did play the game, so I know that happened. So it's all cool.
Yeah. Not without giving too much, but it was an interesting ending. You know, I really appreciate Pedro Pascal being able to be like, you know what, my character's also going to adopt this child too, and bring them across an expansive territory.
You just bring up a hell of a good point. We haven't actually spoke about it. Has anyone watched The Mandalorian season 3?
I've watched the 2 episodes that are out. Yes.
Isn't a new one out today?
Oh, is it? I don't know.
Yeah. Tim, have you not seen The Mandalorian season 3 at all yet?
Oh, I've watched all the 2 episodes.
Okay,
yeah.
well, what are we thinking of The Mandalorian season 3?
Really looking forward to the story arc because it'd be cool to see the way, you know, how the universe expands after this season with how they're going. Because it seems like a lot of the focus is going to be around Mandalore.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'd be curious to see what happens then with how the Empire or the remnants of the Empire are influenced by the after the storyline with Mandalore is finished. You know, because I think Mandalore is like a system of almost 1,000 planets or 1,000 systems, and according to one of the YouTube videos that I was listening to recently, that Emperor Palpatine saw the Mandalorians as one of the only influences in the galaxy that could do some serious damage to the Empire.
Oh.
So it kind of had to destabilize and disrupt Mandalorian rule so that they wouldn't threaten his reign.
Yeah. What I'm kind of interested on, though, is do we think that Baby Yoda will start speaking in this season? Because... No. Like, how old does one of these creatures need to be before it learns to talk?
Not sure, but he's just jumping now, and that's cute enough. And the fact that he can do that, they're like, oh my god, Baby Yoda can jump. I can make Baby Yoda jump now, and my little character.
I think his voice would sound silly. And they've already got enough silly in this show. They don't need to add any more.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, like, I'm enjoying it. So far, I feel like every season of The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett, kind of, it has, again, this kind of typical Disney Plus show, kind of a little bit of a slow build, bit of action, bit of something each episode, but then it just gears up into, like, an epic finale. And so, I'm not sure how many episodes this is. Is it going to be 8 episodes? Because I think it's came up episode, or chapter 17, so that'd be 8 and 8, so yeah.
It's pretty cool to see Katie Sackhoff as Bo-Katan in this season.
Yeah.
I wonder, though, if her character role as, like, the... I don't have the right words for it, but the woman who's got, like, a troubled past but a promising future, and, like, a serious influence as well in the overall scheme of things in the storyline. Like, if she's getting typecast for that sort of thing.
Have you watched it, David?
Yes.
Okay, so my only thought during the show was that they get their helmets when they're a kid. At some point in their life, that helmet's just going to pop right off their head. They're just going to be walking along one day, and it's just going to go boop.
But
And don't tell me people's heads don't grow. Look at a picture of me when I was like 14 and me now. My head is significantly bigger.
is it though? Is it though? Look,
I'm
okay,
sure it is.
let's fact check this. Do human heads grow like as they age? That's the question that comes up. People don't grow forever. The only bones that continue to get larger, hello matron, right, but the only bones that continue to get larger are the skull, oh hang on, there we go, the skull and the pelvis. The growth of these two body parts isn't dramatic, however. Your pelvis might gain an inch in diameter between the ages of 20 and 79, and your skull may get slightly more prominent around the forehead. But at what age? At what age is your head fully grown? By 5 years, the development level of all measurements in head width, head length, and circumference increased, closely approaching maturation. Head length reached full mature at 10 years in females and 14 years in males. How old's the kid when he gets the...
What if he becomes obese?
What, you can't have a fat skull?
Look at if Brendan Fraser put on a helmet when he was 14, and then he was the size of he was in the whale, that helmet would not fit him.
No, but that's like but the helmet stops here. So like having like the jowls and the neck, that's lower down.
No, once again I'm right and y'all are wrong.
Well, you would know as the
older
wise owl amongst us.
And that's his opinion.
Yeah.
That I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. I just thought of that.
Okay, now before we wrap things up, then let's have.
Wait a minute.
What?
I wanted to talk about Picard.
Okay, go on then.
Was anybody watching it?
No. No, go on, talk about it. Look, my sister in particular is a massive Trekkie. At some point, I should try to get her on the show. She'd give you what for about Picard.
Picard season 1 and 2, I enjoyed. But season 3 is really good, and I'll tell you. I mean, for me, I'll tell you why. Because they're back on a starship doing what I've been telling people. You know, they're on the ship and they're doing starship shit. You know, and that's what I like about one of the things I like about Star Trek.
Yeah. Is
when they're on the bridge of a starship. Now, you know, it's not the Enterprise, but still.
Oh, what is it?
They're on a, huh?
What is it if it's not the Enterprise?
It's Titan.
Titan. Yeah, that's all right.
It's one of Riker's old ships. And they're doing all this, you know, stuff with the starship, and that's what I like.
So
I like all that.
So they tried to do something different, and in the end, they just had to cave in and give the same old thing that they've always done. Is what you're saying?
I think season 1 and 2 kind of built toward it.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Because I mean, you can't say that other characters didn't show up in season 1 and 2 because they did.
This is the funny thing, like especially with Star Trek, because when they did Enterprise, it was Enterprise, and after a season or two, they were like, "Oh, guys, look, we tried to do something different. It's Star Trek Enterprise," and they just had to like cave in and go back in time. And with the reboot, they're like, "We're changing the timeline." Oh, but we're just going to remake The Wrath of Khan. And it's like they just panic with Star Trek and they only go back. And that's hence why we got Star Trek, we got The Next Generation, and then they just keep going back and being like, well, here's a different actor playing Spock again. And that's what they do over and over again. Like, how many different Spocks or Christopher Pikes have we had? It's like, and good. Like, I'm glad that they did Picard and they basically brought back The Next Generation. But how about giving us the next generation?
Well, I agree with you, and I think that now I mean, I think they've been inspired by Star Wars. Even though Star Wars, I'm like, can we set something somewhere other than a desert planet? But I think Star Trek, in the future, we're going to start seeing some expansion of the universe.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's going to look like, but I hope they do.
I just want it to be like another 100 years in the future, just 100 or 200 years in the future.
Well, they sent Discovery into the future.
Oh, that's true.
But that show, we found it somewhat enjoyable the first couple of seasons, but now I don't know, it's just not enjoyable anymore.
I think it's cancelled, actually.
Yeah, they did. Well, season 5 is going to be their last.
Yeah. Well, perhaps at least they're giving it an ending, whereas they didn't give an ending to so many other things.
Yeah, and I haven't watched Strange New Worlds yet, so I don't know if that's any good.
I think I've heard that it is. I'm not certain on that. SWAT Deeds says in the comments, I wore motorcycle helmets as a kid and an adult. I can still nudge my head inside the kid helmet, but it's uncomfortable. That's why there's helmet for adults. So
I wonder where his helmet's lying. Like, was it close to him? Like, oh, let's try this on. Like,
well, it's a thank God he's not a Mandalorian, or he'd be having like migraines and stuff like that.
yeah, but it's probably got like some like space technology in there, so that when your head goes in it, it's probably like a TARDIS, like in Doctor Who, but it's bigger.
See, I want on the show, I want there to be like a 100-year-old Mandalorian, and when he takes his helmet off,
it's MODOK.
His head is shaped like the helmet.
Do you know what? I think he takes the helmet off, and the head comes off with it, and it just sprouts arms and legs.
Oh, like Marvin the Martian.
Yeah, but like literally, they could do that. They could be like, "We never remove our helmet." It's like, "Well, I'm going to try," and he goes like that. And the head comes clean off with it. It's like, "Put it back." It's like, "This is why we don't do this."
That's funny.
Okay, before we wrap things up quickly, we've only got a couple of them. Let's have a quick fun game to end on. So, Tim, you can go first. Would you like to guess a movie, a TV show? What would you like to guess?
let's do a movie.
Okay, let's see what we've got. Okay, Okay, look, guys, I need to ask you here. Can you see at the bottom of the screen, the screen share thing? You can't see it. Because if you can, it literally would have just come up in big letters to you. The audience won't see it, is the thing. Okay, so you're going to have 1 minute to try to guess what this is. You can ask me as many yes or no questions as you want. And here you go.
Was it in before 2000?
Yes.
Was it before 1990?
No.
Was it before 95?
I think so, yes.
Is it a Disney movie?
I don't believe... Definitely not.
Is it animated?
No.
Is it science fiction?
No.
Is it comedy?
It's got comedic elements, but it's not a comedy.
Is it romance?
No.
Okay, so it's not Total Recall. Is it... Does it star Tom Hanks in it?
No.
Does it... is the main protagonist a male?
Yes.
Does the protagonist have a team with him?
No, not really. Oh, that
Okay.
is time. Okay, Marty, I'm going to hand it over to you. Go.
Is it a horror film?
Yes. Mostly.
Is it part of a franchise?
Yes. Mostly horror. It's not strictly just horror.
Is it Saw?
No.
Okay. Is the killer is it like a serial killer
No.
horror movie?
No.
No. Is it like an alien or a monster type?
More monster.
Okay. Is the monster Earth origin, or is it like an alien?
It's not alien, but it's not quite Earth either.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah, it is
like
Earth. It is Earth, but...
Is it like an extra dimensional character?
Yes, maybe something closer to that.
Okay. Um, is it The Mist?
No.
Oh,
Oh, that
man.
is time. I'm now going to give you 1 more minute combined. I haven't seen this film in so long. It's not from Earth, but it's kind of not Earth as well. But it's not from outer space. If that clarifies it, probably
Yeah.
doesn't. Right. Okay. Here's 1 more minute for both of you. Go.
Is it Hellraiser?
No.
Is it Tremors?
No.
So, is the monster based on any kind of known animal?
I don't think so. To be honest, I can't specifically remember the monster.
Okay.
Is it Home Alone?
No.
Shoot. Oh, what do I ask?
Is it?
Fine. Is it Alien? Is it Predator?
No. It's not from space.
Yeah. Is it Species?
No.
That's 96, 97. I think.
Ah. Is it Rain of Fire?
No.
Is it? It's a minute yet.
What else can you learn about what happens in this?
It's a franchise though, so there's more than one film.
Yeah, there is.
Does it star Freddy Krueger?
No. That is time, I'm afraid, guys. That is time. I'll tell you the answer. It was Army of Darkness, part of the Evil Dead franchise.
Oh.
Yeah, so
That's my favorite
Necronomicon,
movie.
otherworldly, demons. It's not from Earth,
Yeah.
but it's not from Earth, you know. So there we go.
It just celebrated an anniversary too.
I forgot to ask, does it star the actor with the manliest chin ever?
Yeah,
Bruce Campbell.
of course. Okay, Marty, what would you like? A movie, TV show, book? What would you like?
Let's do TV show.
Thank God. Right. Okay. Let's get... If you'd said book, I'd have been in trouble. Let's see what I can get here. Okay, let's just go for this one. So, Marty, you have 1 minute starting now.
Is it from the 70s?
Maybe? Yeah?
Or more 80s?
No.
60s?
60s or 70s? I don't know, actually.
Okay.
Probably
is it,
70s.
Is it sci-fi?
No.
Is it like adventure?
Yeah?
Is it horror?
No.
Is it romance?
No.
Is it just a drama?
No.
So it's more like it's just adventure than.
Kinda.
Is there a special kind of a vehicle in the
Yes!
show?
Yes!
Is it Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea?
No.
Is it an Irwin Allen production?
It's 60s. I don't know.
Is it Space 1990? No, you said no space. Crap.
That is
Has
time.
there been
I'll go and ask
Huh?
that question. I've started,
has there
so
been
I'll
a
finish.
remake of this?
I don't believe so. I might be wrong. I don't believe so. Okay, handing it over. Tim, take it away.
It's in the 60s.
Yes.
It's a TV show.
Yes.
It's drama, comedy, adventure.
Comedy, not a drama. You could say adventure, but it's not really a good, accurate representation of what it is.
Is it? It's not Lost in Space.
No, it's not.
Is it cartoon?
Yes!
Is it Scooby Doo?
No.
Is it Sea Life 2020 or I don't know.
No, it's not that.
Does it have humans?
Yes.
Does it have animals in it?
Yes.
Is it Looney Tunes?
No.
Is it Popeye the Sailor Man?
It's not Popeye.
Is it? What else is it for old people that watch TV?
And that is time. Okay, I'm going to give you both combined the next minute, or I might even give you 90 seconds.
It's all you, Marty.
No, it's both of you. Go.
Is it a Hanna-Barbera?
Yes.
Is it Speed Buggy?
No.
Oh, but it's definitely animated.
It's definitely animated.
Is it Flintstones?
It's not Flintstones.
Because there's some kind of a special vehicle.
Is it in the water mostly?
No.
So the vehicle runs on land.
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood that. Yeah, no, like both probably.
Or does it fly also?
Yes.
Is it Thundercats?
It's not Thundercats.
Is it
Thunder-
Super Friends?
It's not Super Friends.
Are there superheroes in this?
I don't think so, but there could be some.
Is it the Jetsons?
No, it's not the Jetsons.
Do the animals talk?
I believe so. Or maybe specifically one may not have, but others might have. I think there were though. I'll even willingly look this up.
Is it Wacky Races?
Yes, it is. It's Wacky Races. There you go.
Good job.
I didn't think to guess that because we've had it before.
Do you know what? I thought we had, but yeah, it was though.
Yeah.
Well, there
Then
we
I
go.
was like, well, I should just repeat it.
Yeah. Now, because of that, we have basically we've come to an end. I'm gonna say that all of us, especially me, are this week's Geek of the Week, guys. So, you know, there we go. I think we all earned it that week. So there we go. I raise a toast to you all. Now let's find out where we can find everyone on social media, and if you have a recommendation to our viewers for the next week of something to watch, play, enjoy, or whatever, let us know. Tim.
Hey, I'm Tim. I'm down in Providence. You can see me doing improv in Warwick, Boston, and or North Attleboro. Thing I'd want to recommend to you today is check out my Instagram profile because I am running the Boston Marathon for a charity called the Newton Firefighters Children's Fund. They support families of fallen firefighters in Massachusetts. And my goal is $5,000 for the charity number.
Wow.
So please check it out if you have a chance. You can do the handle right over here. Appreciate your consideration, and thanks for that.
Okay, awesome. Marty.
You can find me on Instagram at WhatWouldJesusGlue. We've been watching a lot of different things. It's hard to keep up sometimes. But I definitely am, like I said, I'm enjoying Picard, especially season 3. I'm trying to think what else, if there's anything else that we've been watching that we really are just blown away. It's been, I don't know, just not being blown away by a lot of things lately, unfortunately.
Yeah, sure. Okay, my name is David Pstansky. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at David Pstansky. Also, do check out everything Geek Battle, which will either be Geek Battle TV or it will be under the name Geek Battle. But if you want to check out more gaming-related stuff, just check out Geek Battle Gaming. And I've got a lot of gaming content going up on the Geek Battle Gaming YouTube channel, which isn't this YouTube channel if you're watching on the Geek Battle one. SWAT Deeds guest, was it Knight Rider, the Jetsons, and Yogi Bear? It wasn't. It was Wacky Races, and I do now remember that we have had it before. So there you go. You never know what you'll get. Sometimes we'll get the same thing. My recommendation this week, guys, is go back and watch Quantum Leap. I've been watching Quantum Leap, and it's amazing how much of the first season doesn't hold up. It's like episode after episode, I'm like, they couldn't make this nowadays. Like, in so many different ways. There's probably
Aren't they remaking it, though?
They've done a remake, they just won't show it in the UK. So I have to just make do with watching the original.
Well,
but I'm watching the first season.
Maybe they're making another remake.
Oh, no, they're not making another remake. But no,
Okay.
I'm just watching the original version, and there's tons of storylines where it's like, tons of dialogue. It's like they couldn't get away with any of this nowadays. It's super weird. But I do know, because I didn't remember most of these episodes, that it gets really good. And so I'm still holding out the faith that it will be as good as I remember. And at some point, hopefully, I'll see the recent remake, or the reboot, or the continuation. I'm not sure what it is. Anyway, until next time, make sure there is a new one out. Yeah, but isn't new... Yeah, like, they don't show it in the UK. I don't know why. They don't show new Quantum Leap in the UK. Anyway. Right, so, until next time, stay safe, live long and prosper, always stay